Yo guys, we're back with more devlog today. It's kind of nice, as it makes for a little easier second channel vid. And we have the 11th anniversary. Been putting a lot of effort into the main channel videos this week, so nice to take it a little easy over here. So, anniversary update, 11th anniversary. Last year was pretty amazing, so I guess we'll see what this year is looking like. New low tier operations, Marlboro B Dockyard, and more. So that is for 15.8. Remember, the update coming next week is 15.7. So this one will arrive in September. So this isn't quite here yet. If you guys missed it, the previous video on this channel is all about mainly with New Jersey. I was going to say Wisconsin, New Jersey, and how interesting that ship is, as well as the new European cruiser line, which we have a couple more premiums there too. So if you're interested in that, check that one out as well. So with this 11th anniversary, remember, the 10th anniversary gives you an insane amount of rewards, I guess we could say. So remember that even if you are on year 11 and year 11 stuff wasn't that interesting, if you started the game a year later, you're on your 10th year this year, you're getting a pretty nice bonus. I think there's a tier 8 or a tier 10 premium is what it drops. Maybe tier 5 year anniversary is the free tier 8, and 10 year anniversary is the free tier 10 premium. So that's pretty cool. Most of those ships, I believe, are within the available for coal and stuff like that. So if you want to, you could buy out all of the ships that are available in those containers, and that way you'd get doubloon compensation, I believe is how it worked last year. So that's interesting. Anyways, so everybody will be getting this stuff. So happy blast day, enemy destruction effect, new perma camo, some containers, a little bit of premium time. So this is just like kind of the base stuff. Pretty nice, just a little extra bonus to get. Perma camo, pretty interesting. So the good stuff though is in festive rewards. As always, snowflakes is what we see it as in Christmas time. That's kind of the good stuff. So what we get is pretty similar to what we've seen before. It's all about getting base XP in each tier, and that is going to give you the bonuses. And so you have the ability to play the same ship over and over and over again, as long as you get a little bit more base XP. So, and that also will trigger more often if you have more ships in port. So the more ships you have in port, so if you got 1,000 base XP in a ship and you have over 600 ships in port, you get that 7 times, right? You get 7 snowflakes, which is pretty cool, It's nice that they allow you that. Originally, when this was running, you had to play every individual ship, which was a little annoying. Back then, there weren't as many ships, of course, but there were still quite a few. So it was quite the grind. So they've made it a lot easier, and I really do appreciate that. So you'll get these tokens and steel for your super ships, which is really important, as not directly involved with the 11th anniversary, but this holiday convoy event that's starting next update in 15.7 and going all the way to the end of the year. You'll be able to earn things like that New Jersey, and steel is something you can use to earn or exchange for premium ships for free, which is really cool. So worth grinding this out. Honestly, second half of the year is looking great, guys. It really is looking amazing. Looks like we are also getting Kurama in early access for 11,000 festive tokens. So pretty good amount of tokens there required. Remember, last year it was Kushiro, a full tier 10 premium you were getting for tokens. This is just simply early access to a super ship, less interesting to me. So if there are other ways to use these tokens on some resource, even if it's just basic coal or steel resource, that could equal into some of these rare premiums that we find. I should show you that, by the way. It's in Holiday Convoy here. You'll be able to get some pretty interesting ships. So very worthwhile, even just the base resources, because coal and steel, I think research points as well, contribute into this. So worth mentioning that. That's going on alongside this. It's not in this devlog. So, but it's looking hype. It's looking hype. If you're interested in early access to Kurama, I don't think they say how long that early access period is. I think it's usually like 3 months, something like that with super ships. I believe that's what a Fonda tour was. I'm not exactly sure on that. You guys can correct me in the comments, of course, if you know, because I would like to know myself what that is directly. Red Steel Titan Collection is from premium containers, and you can get the Sovetskaya Russia, which, as a reminder, is the sort of side grade of the Sovetski Soyuz Tier 9 Soviet battleship, but it's kind of worse, the Sovetskaya Russia, because it does not have the Soviet dispersion curve, and it's got less, I think it has a little less armor, and it has less health, so it's more of a mid-range focused one. It's got like just like Iowa level dispersion curve, but with worse Sigma. So it's, yeah, it's normal battleship dispersion curve, not Soviet, and I think I see that as a downside given how the Soviet battleships want to play. It's also the A hull of Soyuz, which is why it has a little worse characteristics. So that is that collection element in these premium containers. I have no idea how expensive that is going to be. I don't think they tell you the cost of a container. I don't think they tell you how many. 60 elements. And you're guaranteed. Okay, so at least there we know you'd need 60 containers. How much one of these is going to cost? I don't know, but likely quite expensive. A tier 9 premium is usually in that, I believe that they actually say this is a rare ship later on. So what's a rare tier 9? Is that 26k doubloons, something like that? Quite expensive. So we'll see if that's how that plays out. I wouldn't say that one is worth it, although, you know, we'll make a video on it. I'll make a video on it when time comes. Maybe the cost will be lower than I'm guessing here. Again, that is a guess. Honorable service rewards. This is what I was talking about at the beginning, by the way. They don't say it here, but year 5 and year 10 contain those tier 8 and tier 10 premium containers, I believe. So pretty good rewards there if you are on your 5th year of playing or on your 10th year of playing. Pretty cool. For us who have 11 years in the game, how's the body holding up? You feeling old? Okay. We're getting a little bit of premium, legendary economic bonuses, 12 super containers. Usually that's what some of the snowflake tokens can trade for. 15 perma camos and a 50% discount coupon. Seems pretty meh. But again, I think we could remember that most of the in middle years between year 5 and year 10 are kind of not like that insane. And only year 5 and year 10 were insane as of last year. They kind of retroactively did that 5th year bonus. So I think that's okay. I think that's fine. I'm not too upset about that, to be honest with you, given like stuff like Holiday Convoy going on at the same time. I think this is overall looking pretty good. I will say I'm a little disappointed in what the port looks like. It's just kind of open ocean with like balloons and stuff. Like it's fine, but you know, I can almost see the 10th anniversary port back here. I wonder if this is the same port but just like out further in the bay or something. I enjoyed the 10th anniversary port, and this feels like less effort. It feels a little less, maybe that's too harsh, but doesn't look like it'll be as nice, unfortunately. Speaking of ports, some of you were asking what the music was. It's straight up just this mode. This is why like I briefly showed it. I think it's new music or something like that, or it's certainly a track I have not heard for a while. So some of you were interested in that in the previous video, so there you go. That's what I just had on the background. Anyways, Chikuma Shogo and Friedrich Karl arrive. I don't think there was anything interesting in daily calendar or login rewards. So Chikuma Shogo is just a camo, like one of these like they have a few of these sunken camos style ones for Chikuma 2, mind you, which is the hybrid ship, which I am not interested in at all. I think most of you are not either. Friedrich Karl is the German, what is it, Richelieu? I believe this is a Richelieu hull with German guns and manual secondary gimmick. Like the Bismarck 41, 44, 41, 44? I forget which one it is. Which, by the way, is also going to be available here. 41, there it is. Right, so if you want that secondary gimmick and it turns out that this ship is hard to obtain, I mean, you can get that gimmick a tier lower, which is probably easier to make use of. You know, and it's not some, like, no offense, Frankenstein French and German ship. It's like Bismarck, you know? Bismarck. Like, it's, I'm not a history buff, but it's cooler, I think, for it to be, like, just a Bismarck, you know? I don't know. I'm no history buff, but that sounds right for me. Anyways, this special commander will be basic. There's a few of these in the Japanese commander pool. This isn't like Yamamoto. This is just one of those slightly buff commanders. So that's survivability expert. They do not say how you get it. No, you do say here, right? Yeah, both newcomers, Chikuma 2 and Friedrich Karl, will, alongside the special camo, which is this one, will be available alongside Sabir and Victoria and other valuable rewards as available in a birthday wishing worth. Happy birthday, players. Give us all your money in a gambling event. I don't like that. Remember, there's other good stuff going on alongside, but I don't like that. At least Friedrich Karl will be available to purchase in an Admiral pack. So there is a direct purchase option, at least for the new ship. I don't count Chikuma 2 as a new ship. That ship even available normally? Looks like not, no. I don't really care because it's a hybrid, but I try to keep the same energy, or like I try to be, you know, pretty stable on my opinions on these things, where even if it's a ship I don't like, we should have direct purchase options for these things. Victoria's not directly available right now either. I don't believe that one is in rotation either, which is too bad. So Victoria coming back after a while of not being available. And it's an interesting ship. It's a burst fire. It's a burst fire Roma at tier 9 with actual downside to its burst. It's not just like a pure buff. Like, it's actually quite interesting. I like it a lot as far as design goes for a gimmick. Like, it's a gimmick heavy ship, but I like the design of it. Sabir is currently available for doubloons. So that's probably the strongest one. Without having played this Friedrich Karl, Sabir is pretty powerful. If you want it, just use your coupon for 25% off. That way you get it for like 19k doubloons. That would be my recommend. Marlboro B Dockyard. So with 15.8, we're getting a B. B is in Black Friday. Dockyard. Interesting. I'm really happy that this is coming back. Really happy. I was so sad when Wisconsin was put into loot box gambling for $3,000 US. I did not like that. It's a little annoying that they keep the good ones in the loot box gambling event for $3,000 US, and they put Marlboro in the Black Friday one. I mean, again, I need to be consistent here. I'm very, very, very happy that we're getting a Black Friday variant of a Dockyard. I do not like that. This doesn't solve the problem of Dockyard ships being available for a limited time at a decent price and then gone for a really long time. That still is FOMO. You know, I would still prefer that after a year or two of a Dockyard being gone, it just comes back in the campaigns, like in a campaign style tab. I've talked about this idea many times in the past, but that would remove the FOMO. Maybe you bring it back for more money. Maybe it's $40, right? Like, I think $40 is interesting because it's like half the cost of a AAA game. Still pretty expensive, you know, but you're still getting a bit of a discount. You're grinding it out. You're getting it late, all that stuff. Like, I think that would be interesting as a reasonable way to reintroduce Dockyards. Bringing them back periodically in Black Friday variants is interesting, but it's not solving that issue of FOMO after it's gone again, right? That's kind of my issue with it. But I'm happy it's back in a Black Friday Dockyard than a time-based gambling event. Unfortunately, that's the bar we're clearing. It's not a good ship, though. It is a giant citadel. It is 16 low caliber guns with bad AP. The HE is okay, but it's got horrible Sigma, so it's just a shotgun, man. It's not a good ship, unfortunately. 28 phases. and 5 phases to be purchased. A starter pack of 4,500 doubloons. So 4,500 dubs for a tier 9. Might be a bad tier 9, but it's a tier 9. Yeah. Wait. 1,400 per phase. And you need 5 of those. That's 7,000. That's a pretty big gap. That's a pretty big gap. That's bigger than normal, right? I don't remember the last tier 9 Dockyard. Blucher? Did it have as big a gap? Maybe it did. But I guess they really want you to buy the starter pack then. That is the sunk cost fallacy idea of like, you buy the starter pack at the beginning and then you are bought in, you grind some, but life happens. You get busy towards the end of September and October time. And then the end of the Dockyard is approaching. You can't finish the grind. And oh, I've already spent money. I should finish it and spend more money, right? That's why I don't like starter packs as much. Feels sneaky. Sneaky monetization. It's like it's trying to trick you. Use the human brain against you to extract more money. That's why I don't like it. Low tier operations is cool. Are they going to incentivize you to play low tier operations? I don't know. Actually, this is actually perfect. I'm so glad I am just happen to have legends in the background. Where am I looking? I actually don't remember. Is it trials? Yeah. I mean, look at all of these missions for stuff, right? It's minor stuff, it's small stuff, but you can complete it all the way down to tier 1. Right, like that's pretty cool. I don't think that's the one I was looking for. Is it premium supplies? Yes, they force you to, if you want to get all of these rewards, they force you to play the low tier ones too, like directly. You see that? Like you have to play the specific tier of ship. Isn't that interesting? Like that's why Legends actually does have games down at tier 2. I don't know if they're gonna do that on PC. Like, it's cool to have the mode available, but if you're not incentivizing players to play it, why would they necessarily play it unless they just really enjoy that specific mode? But I don't know if you're gonna get enough people on board to start with, you know? I don't know how popular operations are to begin with at normal tiers, you know? Not sure. Not sure. It'll be interesting though to see. More stuff for the operations PvE crowd I think is cool. I'm more of a PvP player, as you guys know, but I think that's cool. I just think there should be decent rewards to incentivize you to play down there, you know? That's all. Clan Battles is going to be 5v5 tier 8. Interesting. Not sure if that would be very fun. I didn't, back in the day, I did not enjoy the, yeah, because Lenin, they don't allow Lenin, that's interesting. But it was always, the tier 8 season sucked because I was Battleship, and then it was like, oh, the Lenin is just sitting there getting farmed for the whole game, but it doesn't die. Not doing a whole lot, and then by the end it's like, okay, go around the other battleship. That was basically what happened, and it was not a fun experience. That was a long time ago though, so maybe things have changed. Anyways, I don't think the brawls were that interesting. Red Hair is a copy of Mogador, but they say based on, they don't say copy. Maybe it's gonna be slightly different. They put it in the same thing as like these Three Kingdoms thing alongside, I am gonna mispronounce this stuff, so I'm not even gonna try right now. There is an Iowa clone that is different simply because you have different modules. It's the same as Iowa, but you don't get an American accuracy upgrade, but instead you get reload mod, which is like interesting, alongside 7% accuracy in third slot. Because American battleships don't have the option of accuracy in the third slot. They only get the upgrade, the better upgrade in slot 6. But that's competing with reload mod. So this lets you see, I think it's just this one. It lets you see what Iowa would be like if it got normal dispersion mod slot 3 and then could just slot reload mod. It's actually kind of interesting as a result. I don't know what that means for Mogador copy. I don't think there's any specific module changes, so it might just be a Mogador copy. And They don't say if there's going to be a different way to get it. So it might just be gambling only, which would be sad. But I don't think they say. Oh, there's one based on Marseille. And in containers, okay. So Marlboro B, epic. Chikuma Shogo, epic. Red Hair is rare. Savetsky, Roysia, rare. Friedrich Karl, rare. Taejong, rare. And then Kurama, uncommon. I wonder if that's because it's in early access for now, and then it'll go to being a tech tree ship where it's not designated as uncommon, rare, or epic, or anything like that. Curious. Anyways, it looks like an alright update. I don't like the... I really don't like Wishing Wharf stuff. The 11th anniversary gift or reward for 11-year-old accounts is not amazing, but I think it's okay given that not every year is going to be a 5 or 10-year level, you know, gift. I think that's fine. Low tier ops already talked about. Marlboro B Dockyard. I'm happy Dockyards are coming back for more reasonable ways than pure gambling, even if Marlboro is not the most interesting ship. So a couple more. They got balance changes here. They're buffing specifically Atlanta class ships AA, which is good because, oh man, Atlanta has been such a sad AA ship for so long. I doubt that'll be enough, but maybe. We got to play. I'll be very curious to test out what that is like. And last, what I want to talk about today, I'm trying to keep this shorter. I heard my laundry is done, so I can go to the gym. Forgot to wash my gym clothes, so we're going a little later today. That's part of why I'm recording this now too. I want to talk about this one because these ships are set to release next update, I believe. Like in early access, we're getting the new line. So that's the new destroyers, new Pan American destroyer line. So to have such a dramatic change, and this is going as the update releases, by the way, right? Like this is happening for 15.6, 15.7. This is not applied right now, I don't believe. So we're not testing such dramatic buffs. We're giving a decent reload buff. We're giving a massive range buff to the torps that dramatically changes the entire way the ship can be played because suddenly the torps are viable. It's a big power jump. We're also giving it a pretty massive bonus to the alpha damage off of the combat instructions. And the repair action time has been increased. I believe they moved it to a super heal previously, or maybe an improved heal, so giving it more health too. Irizar, I believe this is the AP secondary one. 4 second down to 2.8 second reload on the secondaries. That's a pretty massive buff. Like, that's pretty big. They're changing the engines so that it's like a British light cruiser. So it drifts around, it accelerates very, very quickly. And it's getting a specialized repair teams. So like a super heal. I'm pretty sure that's what that means. So like that's a pretty massive change. Are we not testing things anymore? Like a reload nerf here to Friedrich Karl is that's still something, but it's like relatively small. It's, I don't know. Alternate firing mode for Taejong, which is like the ultra close range ship with that alt mode. Bladder ballistics, removed reload penalty. Interesting. Small reload nerf to this Spanish support battleship, which is like New Jersey, but not New Jersey, I guess, because you don't get the accuracy bonus. I believe this one is like you get an alt fire with alpha damage, but not the accuracy bonus or something like that. It's kind of interesting that. I don't know what this one is. And Z57 is getting a 6-kilometer hydro. Finally, they have dropped the stealth hydro idea. Thank goodness. Thank goodness they're dropping that. In exchange, it's getting DPM buffs and a conceal buff. because the only reason it had such bad detect was because of the 7-kilometer hydro. Good. That's a good change. But yeah, I'm not a fan of like pretty massive changes, you know, going into release of the ship, you know. Feels like we don't actually care about the balance that much is kind of the feeling I get. Anyways, that is about it for this video. 11th anniversary. Let me know what you think in the comments. Cool enough looking update. Remember that Holiday Convoy going alongside all of this is gonna feel very good. Okay, maybe that's why I've seen in some comments a little bit around this dev blog where people aren't terribly happy with the 11th anniversary compared to the 10th anniversary. But I think people are remembering the 10th anniversary as the 10th anniversary update alongside I forget what they called it last time, but last year's version of Holiday Convoy, where you were earning doubloons as you played, you were earning towards premium ships, like all that stuff, similar to what Holiday Convoy is. Right? I think people are thinking about, maybe I'm wrong, you can tell me if I'm wrong, certainly, but I think people are combining the 10th anniversary with the Holiday Convoy of last year, right? So I think this will feel a lot better because Holiday Convoy will be going alongside this, right? They're kind of a package deal, right? Just Holiday Convoy starts an update sooner. Anyways, pretty cool. New Jersey looking crazy as always. And thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'm off to the gym. Enjoy the rest of your day.